Tales by Tabletop is a story adapted from sessions of Dungeons & Dragons. It follows the saga of a trio of adventurers, Laeran, Rosjen, and Tim.
Welcome, dear listeners, to another chapter in our story. Previously, Laeran, Rosjen, and Tim arrived at a small town called Brewery as guards for a caravan. We join our heroes now, helping unload the wagons at a local general store next to the large inn. Tim looks up at the sign hanging over the inn. It depicts a donkey pulling on a cart that has been stuck in some mud.
I cannot wait to stay indoors tonight. Maybe some ale and a hot meal. I might even get to play my music to some more accepting audiences.
Oh no, we're not staying in town tonight. I don't want to waste any more gold on workers. You plan for days on the road. This is your job.
Cartwright begins to lead the wagons away from the inn. Muttering something indistinguishable, he obscenely rummages around in his pants to adjust himself.
That cheap bastard! He's gonna make us camp outside of town tonight when there's a perfectly good inn? Cruelty, I say. Wait a minute. Oh, Cartwright.
No, y'all are staying with me and protecting my wares. That's what I've hired you for.
It's daytime, and we're in town.
And I've hired you to protect my merchandise. I'm not paying you to drink somewhere.
Rosjen pushes the back of Tim's knee with her quarterstaff.
Shut up!
I don't know why I even bother paying you fools.
The wagons finally rest for the day on the other side of where the fences to the farmlands end. Cartwright barks orders at the crew to set up camp. Laeran works with the other hands to set up a perimeter and start a campfire. Tim, on the other hand, is still upset that the town is off limits. He goes to make his feelings known to his boss.
So, let me get this straight. You expect us to wait here, at all times, 24 hours a day for 2 days?
What do you think you signed a contract for? So you could travel to a backwater town and have a party? No, we are on a caravan, and we still have other stops to make. So unless you want to give up 6 whole gold a day for work, you're going to sit here and do what I tell you.
Tim takes a deep, deep breath and summons most, if not all, of his willpower, and smiles.
Of course, boss. I don't know what I was thinking.
Tim jumps and turns around. He quickly gets to work helping with the perimeter. As soon as he gets out of earshot, he turns to his companions.
Okay, I am robbing this son of a bitch tonight.
That's what I was thinking.
The less I know about it, the better. That man is an asshole.
We could steal from him. And we could give some of it back to the little girl and her family.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Nobody should be treated like this. And the food is horrible. And it tastes like owlbear toe jam.
I say we find our way to the local lord sometime this evening. When they wake up in the morning, we need to find ourselves scarce.
Then we should hand old Cartwright our notice now, then.
I'll get right to work on that notice.
And tell him we went east.
In case he wants to hire us again.
Why would he want to hire us again? We're gonna steal all his stuff.
Shut up. Someone in the party would rather not know.
You know, I think I'll just quit now. Whatever you decide to do in addition to that is on you.
You mean now?
Why not?
Laeran coolly walks up to Cartwright's wagon and knocks on the side. Cartwright's balding head pokes between the back covering.
What the f*** do you want?
It's been emotional.
And with that, Laeran turns on his heels and walks into town.
And what does that mean?
It means sod the f*** off.
He throws a rude gesture over his shoulder.
Well, f*** you. I'm not paying you.
That's fine.
Cartwright's head spins around and he glares at the other two.
And what of it?
We just met before we came here. I'm still with you, man. I've just been over by the campfire.
Of course you're with him. You two have been attached to each other's backsides for days. Don't lie to me. Get the f*** out.
All right, fine.
Fed up with this whole mess, Tim tips what was cooking over the fire into it. Cartwright turns his increasingly redder and redder face to Rosjen.
And what about you?
You know what? Yeah, I don't want to work for you anymore. You're not a nice person. And you smell like goblin farts. And also, your food is bad.
Oh, did the snowflake get triggered? To the abyss with y'all!
And with that, our heroes leave the employment of Edwin Cartwright. The evening being young, and with nowhere else really to go, they head toward the 2-story inn.
Oh, slap my And call me a bugbear. Did you see the name of this inn?
The Swampy Donkey?
That has got to be the second worst name I've ever heard.
That must mean it's good. After the fight today, I could really use a long rest.
And tomorrow we can be on our way.
Rosjen enters the inn and is met with an odd sense of comfort as soon as she passes the threshold. As she stops for a moment in the doorway, she looks around the room and notices that much of the furniture is shorter than she usually finds around the cities and towns. The bar stools have an extra sturdy rung for climbing up. There are footrests higher up on the bar for a halfling or gnome, extra steps. Even some of the decor and designs along the pillars holding up the bar have a little bit of halfling flair.
Wow!
2 tieflings are waiting tables, a man and a woman. They are wearing relatively clean aprons and both seem to have the same deep red tint to their skin. The woman looks twice at Rosjen and waves them inside.
Come, sit where you would like.
Our heroes continue to move in, but some sudden movement catches Rosjen's eyes. A topknot moving back and forth behind the bar, and a halfling face pops up over the counter.
Oh, it's so good to see kinfolk.
Oh my gosh, it's so good to see you too.
My name is Aldo Lightleaf. Here, have a drink on me.
Rosjen quickly and happily climbs the stool with ease. She puts her feet on the highest footrest and shakes her shoulders in a little dance. The bartender passes her a halfling-sized glass.
Thank you, Aldo. My name's Rosjen. This place is amazing.
Thank you. I've been here in Brewery, for decades.
Oh, really?
And to you, fine gentlemen, what can I get for you? Do you prefer a darker or lighter ale?
Well, it has been a while since I've had a feast, so I'd like a pint of the darker ale if you don't mind.
And what about you, sir?
Ale, huh? Do you got anything stronger?
But of course. Would you like to spend the same as a pint of ale, or are you looking to spend a bit more? I know you adventurers are usually pinched for coin.
The barkeep holds up his index finger and begins to point at each section.
This much will get you warm, this will get you to the wind, and this much will...
Tim stops, grabs his hand, and opens up all 5 fingers.
That much. That's how much I want to get.
Ah, well, that will be 8. 8 gold.
Very well, then.
Tim takes out his last 8 gold and slides it to the barkeep, attempting to divert 4 gold back into his palm. However, the halfling's deft fingers are able to finesse them back into his own palm.
Excellent. I will be right back with what we have in stock, sir.
Seems your sleight got swiped, my friend.
You know, I'm not even mad.
Aldo slips back from the bar with a transparent blue bottle with a metallic-smelling liquid in it.
Here you go, my lad. You look like a bard, and if you'd like, we could do with some music here. If you're able to get my patrons to spend a bit more coin, I'll reduce the price on your next bottle.
Tim's eyes get wide. An audience. These are the moments he lives for. He starts to make his way to the hearth. Laeran turns to the bar owner as Tim tunes his guitar.
Well then, Mr. Publican, sir, could I...
Please, call me Aldo.
Ah, and you may call me Laeran.
A pleasure to meet you.
Likewise. If you would, is there anyone here that is injured or sick, perhaps? I am blessed with a healer's touch.
Oh no, the Knights of Brewery Hall keep us as well and healthy as they can. If you're interested, though, there's a shrine up the road from Brewery. It's one of the progressive, non-denominational shrines that helps you in your worship with really any deity.
Ah, yes. In Waterdeep, they have a chapel to the 1001 gods.
You're from Waterdeep, then?
No, just passing through it.
Passing like water through Waterdeep. But no, we don't have any need for adventurers tonight.
Well, it'd be best to ask before I make myself comfortable. In that case, I would love another pint. I do not think I'll be going anywhere for the rest of the evening. And this time, Aldo, my good man, I would like the light ale for some variety.
Absolutely.
Excuse me.
Oh, and it appears your friend is about to play a song.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. There are some things not meant for those gentle and kind, and to that lovely lot, of course, pay me no mind. But the rest of you folk now pray lend me your ears to my tale of a no-good caravaneer. Cartwright was a man, cantankerous and heated. He lied and he stole and he robbed and he cheated. The old bastard was cheap, of that there's no doubt. When his mother couldn't pay rent, he tossed her right out. Old chap was fat, and that was a fact, and he gave off a smell like a dragon's nutsack. His teeth were all wooden, a rotten veneer, and he scares off small children with a laugh and a sneer. So now that you've heard the tale I have told, I beg mind my words, be you youngin' or old. Be wary of Cartwright and always steer clear of that no good rotten caravaneer.
Thank you. Thank you. Please remember to tip your waitstaff.
Tim takes a very large pull from the blue bottle. He immediately realizes he is in danger. The liquid is very sweet, and he can barely taste any alcohol. He knows it's there, however, as he feels his face become flushed, and the crowd become much more warm and accepting. Tim stays next to the hearth, entertaining the guests, and attempting to flirt with the tiefling waitress. After the sun sets and night blankets the countryside, Laeran heads to his room for the night. Rosjen continues to talk to Aldo about life in Brevery as he moves from the bar to the kitchen serving his guests. While Aldo is away from the bar, Mandy, the little halfling girl, comes wandering in.
Oh, hi, Mandy. What are you doing here?
Hi. Oh, I'm coming home. I'm looking for my dad.
Did you find your brother?
I really need to talk to my dad.
The little girl skips into the kitchen looking for her father.
Oh, no.
Rosjen slides off her bar stool and looks around the room, concerned. Did she see a small halfling boy in here? Shortly, Aldo exits from the kitchen, a frustrated father's look on his face, the little paisley-clad girl in tow.
Toby, come here.
The tiefling waiter trots over, cleaning his hands on his apron and brushing his dark hair out of his face.
Yes, Mr. Lightleaf, what can I do?
Go and look in the usual places for David. He's either hiding in the Manchester's garden or playing with the Cooper's boy.
Yes, sir, I'll come back shortly. Oh, excuse me, sir. I meant nothing by it. I'll be on my way then.
Mandy's your daughter, then? We met her on the way into town. She's a delightful little girl.
Yeah, she's too adorable for her own good. Isn't that right, my little moonbeam?
Yeah, that's me.
Do you need any help looking for him?
No, Toby knows where to look for the boy. Thank you, though.
I just couldn't stand to see a little kid out there alone.
That's such a good heart you have. You remind me so much of my late wife.
Aw, thank you for that. Well, I think I'm going to turn in for the night.
Good night, then. I'm assuming both your companions have turned in as well?
Laeran may have been asleep, but Tim was out back getting some of his tips stolen and snogging with Cassandra, the tiefling waitress. Where does the story continue? Please join us next time for another chapter.
Tales by Tabletop is a series supported by a dedicated team. They make this project happen and infinitely more fun. Laeran is played by Jim Cook and voiced by Jay DeGraff. Rosjen is played by Misty Harper and voiced by Jazlyn Pintar. Tim is voiced and played by Phil Boelche. Your narrator is David Nailing. Guest voice acting provided by Thomas Munoz, Anna Schulmeyer, Travis Nellor, and Steve Vettori. Story coordinators are Mike Becker, Chris Hultin, and Zac McAuley. Sound effects provided by freesound.org, and music provided by tabletopaudio.com. The theme for Tales by Tabletop was created by David Vass. This show is edited and directed by Zac McAuley, Travis Nellor, and is produced by Michael Blackard.